Oh yeah, this is good. So when I turn like this, it's more. So cool.
Will this probably be the permanent setup? Maybe.
I'm just testing things out. I want to get some lights, maybe.
What about to say like some professional camera lights or something?
No, like I already have those, but those don't really work. It's too big.
Okay.
But like lights in the background.
Oh, okay. But not like for the podcast, like just home improvement in general.
Podcast.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm ready.
Nah,
Yo.
yo,
Welcome to the Mark Our Words podcast, the official podcast of YouTube. What's good with you, Chen?
I'm good, man.
I like this new setup, man.
Oh, you do?
I like this new setup. It's like you're taking me on a tour around your house. I don't know where we at. Technically, I do, but I'm just saying. I'm just playing for the camera. That's all.
Nah, how you doing, man?
Man, it's been a month since I seen you. Probably like a month, like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So, what's been new? My lady is she moved in with me.
Okay.
So, immediately she had some homework assignments to do when she moved in. Number one, she never saw The Wire. So
y'all watching that?
So yes, we're watching The Wire. After each season, she gets a written essay, a written exam that I give her, 10 questions, not multiple choice. You gotta fill it in. Like, so the first season, she's just learning the characters, like who's Lester and who's things like that. Mm-hmm. But she likes it. But I feel like, and maybe it's me, I feel like she's not watching it right. I feel like she's missing like important parts. But then I have to remind myself, when I first watched The Wire, this is my third time watching The Wire. I didn't catch all those parts in the first part. It's like by the second time, and then you watch clips on YouTube, is when I was like, oh, okay, I'm starting to get it. So when I see her watching the show with me, and then she be on her phone, I'd be like, yo.
You gotta see this character. He doesn't seem significant now.
Yeah, but I said, dude, you know who Little Man is? That's very important, Little Man. And stuff like that. And it's fun. It's definitely it's not as hard as people was making it out to be. People was making it seem like this was a death sentence.
What?
Like,
moving into
yeah, like your girl. Oh, like your girl moving in with you. Well, good luck. I'm like,
I mean, it's only been 2 weeks.
You're right. But like, I don't know. Like, I still have my space. She still has her space.
Yeah, and I think also you guys been doing this for every weekend for a while now.
Yeah,
so it's
for like almost
you guys,
5 years.
Y'all was practicing.
Yeah, and then on top of that, like, I realized something. I don't care about a lot of things. So I'm not going to be fake mad over things that many people may feel like you should be mad about.
Such as?
It's hard because I really don't be caring. Like, so, I don't know. It's hard. Like, I'm sure gonna come back to it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like I like to save my anger
for real,
for like real issues.
Yeah,
like
fair.
real issues that's like a very that's going to change the dynamic of the relationship.
Yeah.
Not something that just gonna make me angry for today. I'm like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm more like it's hard because I'm not really mad on chores. I don't really get mad over like you were supposed to do this. It's like, if you don't do it, it's not gonna get done. I'm not gonna do it. So you might as well do it. And I'm not gonna think about it.
Yeah.
I'm not really the type to really care and maybe just go bite me in the behind in the future. Like, I don't care if you listen to what I gotta say. You deal with the consequence. You get what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm giving you the play-by-play. You need to do this. And if you don't do it, that's your life. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not going to take it. And maybe once I get older, maybe it may change. I'm not going to take it as, you don't respect me, you don't like me, and make it about me. Like, you don't listen to me. And I'm just going to be like, look, I'm going to bring it up one time. And if you don't listen to what I got to say after that, God be with you. You know what I mean? Like, other than that, I just don't care. But last week, Mother's Day was last weekend. My lady went to go be with her mom. I stayed home and just cleaned the apartment, and it was just cool, just being by myself, which I usually do every Mother's Day. being by myself, using the time to reflect if I want to. I didn't reflect, I just clean. But it just felt good because that was during the time where she was about to officially move in. So like to have the place clean when she came back, it feels good. So hopefully she's enjoying the stay. I haven't asked her like, hey, is the transition good for you and things like that. I brought a welcome home banner. So you know, I try. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's why I get away with a lot of things.
What do you mean?
Because I do the small stuff. Like, I do the stuff that you don't think about. Like, I'll go get a welcome home banner. Speaking of welcome home banners, it's very hard to get a welcome home banner without a USA flag on it. I don't understand. I was just looking everywhere. Party City.
Oh, you don't like USA flags?
She's not returning back from the military. I don't know why they need a flag on it. Can you give me one?
You're American. You don't like America? You're a terrorist.
I only wanted one that said welcome home that I could just drape on my ceiling and stuff like that. So I found one on Amazon. $15 to be used once. So, you know,
Whole time. Not like you can reuse a welcome home.
No, it's just like I literally threw it away like this weekend. So but it's the thought that matters, you know. How was your week, man? How was your week?
It was good. Before we move on, how's your girl enjoying her? We can talk about it next episode.
Okay.
We gotta save content. We do
Okay,
this
yeah. Help me. Go ahead.
But yeah, it was good, man. I bought my mother and my grandmother a bunch of candy and cookies because her gift is taking a while to arrive. So
okay,
I did that.
Did you drop a bag?
What do you mean?
Like, why is it taking a while to arrive? Like,
it's just, there's a bunch of like fixes, and I ain't really planned it well to make sure it got here on Mother's Day.
Son.
Yeah, it'd be like that. Yeah, it's been a good week. I did some tune-ups to my house. I'm back on the renovation DIY.
Listen,
wave.
I told you if you need help, just call me.
Whole time you did just redo a whole house.
I said, hey, let me know. Like, just if you need help with anything. I should remember that time I came over to help you. One time you was like, bro, I'm tired. I don't want to do nothing. Yeah, but I feel you though, because I understand like you have to make your trips count for where you live. You just can't be going to, like with me. My Home Depot was right down the street from my house.
That's a blessing. You don't understand. I don't have a car either, so I have to rent a car to get it. But it is what it is. So I've been doing that. Been reading books, man. I just read this one great book. We need like a book session.
Okay, no problem.
We might do that at the end of the year. But like the psychology of money.
I heard about the book.
Might be my favorite book, but I'm gonna put it in my top 3 for now.
You know what's funny? I was about to read that book, but the title seemed so cliche to me that I was like, what are you gonna tell me what I don't know? You know what I mean?
The book is great.
Really?
It doesn't really teach you anything, but it does make you understand a little bit more.
Okay.
And reconfirm certain ideas. Like for example, when everybody was making money off of Bitcoin or everybody was making money off of the stock market, you're saying like, yeah, they're making money now, but a lot of people are going to lose. And I think it goes into your whole like crypto.
Oh yeah, we gonna talk
theory.
about that.
Yeah,
we gonna talk about that. Crypto is the new MLM. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, and it just kind of readjusted and had me refocus on what's important. So
yeah. Now I'm waiting on it. Now I'm switching gears slightly because I've been waiting almost 3 weeks to ask you this, and I'm just like, just get it out the way. While not while you was away, but recently you went skydiving.
Oh yeah,
right. You went skydiving, and everybody who went skydiving always got something deep to say after they go skydiving.
I can see why.
They always say like, take risk in life and stuff like that. My brother told me you probably wouldn't skydive, would you? And I'm just like, I feel attacked. I don't know why.
That's what he said.
Yeah, he said you probably wouldn't go skydiving.
Had he go skydiving?
He said he did it multiple times. He said he did it multiple times. So like my fault. So like people who go skydiving, they feel like they have a leg up on you or something like that.
Yeah,
at least the people that I talk to.
Yeah.
So what spirituality deepness are you about to give me about you jumping out of a plane? I'm ready for it.
I mean, I haven't really talked about that part. I don't know the spirituality, but it does put things in perspective.
Really?
Yeah, because you while you're waiting for the skydiving part, you're thinking about all the terrible things that could go wrong. It's like what if the chute don't go, what if the guy passes out, what if the plane falls out the sky, all these things that's like, well, you just saw this person go and that person go and that person, and everything seemed okay. Why is it going to break when you're up there? So that's, you're battling those thoughts. And then, it's your time to go up. You put on like the little vest.
Were you scared?
The whole time.
Oh, like the whole time?
I don't like heights. Like, I'm terrified of heights.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm terrified of heights. Like, even in planes, like, I get a little nauseous. I just kind of, like, say, if I'm going to die, well.
That explains, because every time we took a plane together, you sleep before it takes off.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it.
I don't. Maybe because we've been going
Dude, you take
daytime
drugs?
in like, the morning. No, I
Oh,
don't
okay.
take
I'm about to say, like, do you take sleeping pills? Like, I'm asking.
No, I don't take sleeping pills.
Because I'm like, you was knocked out.
Not for no plane ride, man. I'm definitely not taking those.
So no, I had no idea that you were scared of heights. But anyway, you said you were scared the whole time. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you're not on the vest. You get on the plane. The plane's loud, and then you just hear ruckus. And the funny thing is, you don't even know when you took off. Because you just kind of like talking around. You kind of like making jokes. And all of a sudden you look out the window. You like 50 feet in the air. It's like, where we going? And you just treading, going up. And then the guy is like maybe 5 to 10 minutes. And then the guy says, hey, man. I'm like, oh, man, this is the time. Because now you looking, you mad high. Guy said, we're only halfway there. It was like, halfway there? Do another 10 minutes up into the sky. And then you just looking, you see it. It looks like a cartoon world. Like, that's how high you are. You don't see no cars. You don't see nothing. You just see like green, brown, green, wire. Like it's just like like you playing Sims World or something.
Yeah.
And then I was the first one up, which I liked because I didn't want to see people falling. Like I didn't want to imagine it. Yeah. So I was the first one up.
Yeah.
The guy tells you some things. He said he's going to tap you on the shoulder and then you're going to put your hands up. And the whole thing, you're like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. And then you think about it. It's like, it's going to happen. And because it's going to happen, you might as well just
accept it.
Whatever happens. If you fall to your death, you fall to your death. It is what it is. Nothing you could do to prevent that.
Really?
And so, the guy tells you, when I tap you, put your hands in the air, lean back, look at the camera. I was like, all right, I'm going to just listen to him. So we're at the edge. He pulls the door. We're at the edge. You just like, man, this is really about to happen.
Hold on. Was there any point where you was on the edge about to be pushed out to where you were like, this is stupid? Like, this is, like, why?
Nah.
Okay.
I don't think it was, because I think you already knew, like, hey, you're doing this is what it is. So it's like questioning whether it's smart or not. It's already too late. But there was a point when my feet was outside and it was just dangling. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna lose a shoe. That became my biggest worry. I was like, did I tie my shoe tight enough? It was just my feet were just going crazy. I was like, I hope I don't lose a shoe.
This is your thought. Shoes that you can go to the store and get like $100 shoe.
Look, because your life is already in the hands of this pair of shoes. So it's like there's nothing you can control about that. But maybe I could retie my shoe. Okay. Maybe I could like, nah, this is too loose. Hey man, let me retie my shoe. Like, there's still a chance.
Yeah, this is hilarious.
So I'm worried about my shoe, and he's like, "You ready?" I was like, "Oh man, well, I guess there's nothing I can do about my shoe." So that thought goes out the window too. And so he pushes me, and then there is an instance where you're like, "No,
like, no what?"
Just no. Like you push you, and you're like tilting forward, and then there's this long no that goes through your head, like no, and then you're out. He was like, what the? And then you're in kind of like disbelief, like, this is not real. And then what saved me was when he tapped me. He tapped me.
Did he tap you while falling?
Yeah.
Okay.
I put my hand up. I looked at the camera. I was like, I'm gonna just focus on this. And so that helped me a little bit. But then I couldn't breathe. And so I don't know. Maybe we put the video up. I don't know. But there was a part where my mouth was like, my nose was going up. I'm thinking like, oh man, I'm a blackout. And cause all I can remember was the Will Smith story about his father-in-law blacking out and not being blacked out by the time he got to the ground. I was like, I don't want that to be me.
Yeah, it's better be the first one, right?
So I was like, with my nose all, I'm like, I'm about to black, and that's when he pulled the chute. And after that, it was you kind of just give in. It's like, wow, that was real. And then you get to see all the views. You get to see where Baltimore is, and you're like, what, an hour away? You get to see the different farmland, and it's a nice ride coming down. It's still scary because you're high up, but it's more cartoon-ish than like a roller coaster. Like a roller coaster, you can still see people.
Yeah.
Whereas you're so high up, you can't really see people like that. So it's like,
the funny thing about it is, I would do skydiving.
Really?
Yeah. Like I would do skydiving. I can't do it now though, because my girl told me I'm not allowed to. And I think she's just doing that because she can't do it. So she's kind of put me in her box. So like with me, I took us practice skydiving.
Yeah.
I took us there. That's where she got injured. So that ain't look good. But I would do it now. I probably wouldn't. Not only because she said no. I just want to know, like, the cost, like, the risk and the reward, that needs to matter to me. To where it's like, what do I get from jumping out of a plane? You feel like you can face anything now in the world because you feel...
I see why people do it over.
Okay.
Before I did it, I understand it. Like, it was like, yeah, why are people doing this, risking their life? But after you land, it's like this, I don't know, it's like cocaine. It's like, oh, I just jumped off a plane. You remember that Diddy the video
where like
he
said
hangs up and he's like, what can you not do? I could do it. I could do anything. Like, that's how you feel.
Really?
And I'm like, and kind of pushed me through a couple of things so far.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, oh, what? Why am I scared to call this person?
What?
Why am I scared to ask for this thing at work? Like, these little things that you're like, nah, they're not going to give it to me or nah, blah, blah. It's like, I don't care. They do. I'm going to ask. It's these little things that, play out because of it.
Your lady experienced the same thing, the same rush, like, or was she much cooler about it than you were? Because, like,
I think so.
Oh, okay, that's
good. We talked about it. Yeah. She said, yeah, it's definitely a rush.
So, because you jump out of a plane, I expect you to be a billionaire within the next 10 years.
I don't know, because a lot of people who jump out of planes are not billionaires.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Also, my view of money changed.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of the book.
Because of the book.
Well, there is a billionaire who wants to buy Twitter. Popular, you may have known of him. Elon Musk, right? What is your personal views on Elon Musk?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, because I think he's a genius, but people who know the fields that he work in say he's not. So, I think
actually it was you who actually said this to me in a text message. You said Elon Musk make being a billionaire look fun.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because even though when he said he's going to buy Twitter, he went on Twitter and made a troll tweet and said, "I'm about to buy Coca-Cola and put cocaine back in back in the Coke." And think about it, as someone of high stature of that, you would think, why you making jokes like that? Why are you acting like Twitter or Twitter? You get what I'm saying? But apparently he is in the works of buying Twitter for $44 billion. Can I read something to you? All right? I'm going to read it to you. Just once I find it.
Yeah, that's wild. I sold all my Twitter stocks when you made that announcement.
Whoa. Hold on. Twitter was one of your best stocks.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
Yeah, no.
I could have sworn you said, well, that was like how many years ago was that? 8 years ago?
Yeah, I don't know, but It wasn't. It was doing okay, but it wasn't doing well. And so when he announced that, it was skyrocket.
Really?
I was like, I don't trust Elon. So I took my money out. This man gonna say, I can't buy it, and then that thing is just gonna
It just go drop. So so basically, you sold high.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
This is from the New York Times, right? Already one of the most unusual corporate takeover attempts in modern business, Elon Musk $44 billion deal to buy Twitter got a little weirder on Friday. First, in a pre-dawn tweet, Mr. Musk said the deal was on hold. He said he wanted more details about the volume of spam and fake accounts on the platform. That's kind of weird because I'm like, with whatever platform, it's going to be fake and spam accounts in general, but that's just me.
But
right.
How much? If it's like 50%.
I think I read somewhere it was like as high as 5%.
Oh, that's not bad.
And then about 2 hours later, Mr. Musk tweeted again he was still committed to the acquisition, he said, without providing any more details. Scrolling down more, while most acquisitions of this scale are handled in a certain manner, Mr. Musk has opted for a more different approach. He conducted a limited due diligence on the deal before charging ahead and said during an interview at a conference in April that he did not care about the particulars of Twitter finances. On Friday, Mr. Musk demonstrated how his whims can influence the deal making. And I'm going to post the rest of the article, or at least the link in the description or whatever. But I basically just wanted to read that to give you a gist of like, everybody was, well, I'm not going to say everybody, but most people was like, if Elon bought Twitter, I'm not getting on Twitter no more. Is this a personal attack or like a personal feeling towards Elon as the billionaire? Or is this more of like one person trying to take control of that medium of Twitter?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think there's liberals who are saying that this is an attack on democracy.
Okay.
And, the whole anti-capitalism, everybody's a communist now. I think, but it's weird because everybody makes this seem like a right? So, like, Twitter being, somebody owning Twitter is an attack on democracy. But on the other side, Twitter is a place for free speech. I'm like, Twitter is a private company. Like, it has nothing to do with democracy or free speech, right? So Twitter wants to ban you because you saying the N-word 100 times. Okay. They just don't want people saying the N-word on their platform. And Twitter want to be sold to a billionaire. I mean, like what you want? What you gonna do? Like, so this whole idea that Twitter is a right, and what that right means is weird to me. And it comes from both sides, depending on what the topic is. So, I mean, right now the topic is that no one person should own Twitter. Like, Twitter is for the people.
Yeah.
But I don't know who deemed that true.
But I think what a lot of people also bringing up and what people are retweeting these past couple of weeks is that Twitter is worth $44 billion. Another story came out about a year ago about what Elon said about world hunger. I'm going to read that article to you. One story that suddenly reemerged on social media is that Musk pledging $6 billion to the United Nations World Food Program to help the organization end world hunger last year. The story began with an interview the director of the UN World Food Program, David Beasley, gave to CNN back in 2021, in which Beasley said that billionaires needed to step up to help save millions around the world from famine and starvation. Specifically talking about Musk, Beasley said that 2% of Tesla's CEO's wealth, estimated at $6 billion at the time, could have helped 42 million people that are literally going to die if we do not reach them. Musk, apparently hearing what Beasley said through researcher Eli David, who quoted CNN's article in a tweet on October 30th. A day later, Musk tweeted, "If WFP can describe on this Twitter thread exactly how $6 billion will solve world hunger, I will sell Tesla stock right now and do it." Beasley later clarified that he never meant Musk could actually solve world hunger with such a generous donation, but that money could have definitely helped millions. $6 billion will not solve world hunger, but it will prevent instability and mass migration and save 42 billion people on the brink of starvation. And I'll post that article too in the description. So a lot of people have said, like, if you're willing to spend $44 billion on Twitter, and people view Twitter as basically just a social media app, why don't you save world hunger? Pledge $6 million towards world hunger to help people in this situation. I think this goes back to how we kind of view and how we kind of want people to spend their money that we don't have and things like that. But do you think people have a point in that view of saying, if you can buy Twitter for $44 billion, should you at least donate $6 billion of that money to World Food Bank or World Food Hunger, or just that organization to solve world hunger and things like that? Do you think they have a fair point in that?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think the issue there is that sustainable? Like, and how will you guys like $6 billion or even 44? Let's say he pledged $44 billion to world hunger. That money is going to get lost in the sauce. A lot of people are going to get rich, and a lot of people are going to go unhelped because there's money. And it's like, oh, it's $44 billion. Okay, I have a program. I have a program that helps, blah, 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 this, that, and third. And then that money goes through that program. That program uses some of that money, but a lot of that money is used to, fatten a lot of people's pockets. It's like the PPP loans. All that PPP loans, a lot of that was supposed to be for small businesses, but a lot of people got rich, both legally and illegally. Illegally, it was like people who were scamming.
Yeah.
But legally, it was a lot of these big corporations that used it for themselves, to cash out their bonuses and so forth. So I don't know. Like, I hear it, but like I'm with Elon. You give me a detailed plan on how this money is going to be used to end world hunger.
Yeah. Don't come back asking for another $6 billion because world hunger is not I don't want to say it's not a business. Yeah. But it's supposed to be a donation to where you're not really looking to make money off of it. Yeah. So I'm basically giving you $6 billion. I don't want it to be every 6 years. You need another $6 billion to serve. Yeah. To save.
Or we're in the same position.
Exactly.
I'm like, all right, well, you guys don't have a real solution. Well, then when y'all figure that real solution out, come back to me. I think that's the issue.
But I think that's back on Beasley's point to where I think he just used Elon Musk as an example. Yeah. But he said these billionaires and these millionaires need to step up to help basically save the world from world hunger and things like that. Is it our responsibility to save the world as millionaires and billionaires? Not us per se, but I'm just saying, to help the world from world hunger?
I don't know. I think there is a brokenness in the system, right? Yeah. Where people shouldn't be having that much wealth, but to put that on one person, that's tough.
I don't know. I think there is a responsibility to preserve the world you live in, the city.
But where do you focus? Do you focus on world hunger? Do you focus on cancer patients? Do you focus on racism? Do you focus on...
I always say focus on what you see. And
but for me, see a lot.
But for me, I mean, like, I see Baltimore. Like, back when I was living in Baltimore City, I would focus on, like, my street, like my block, the people that I, like, have everyday encounters with. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying those people that give to cancer and things like that are not genuine about it, because I lost my mother to cancer. Yeah. But I'm not passionate about cancer. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not really for me per se passionate about curing cancer. It's weird. But what I see every day is poverty. What I see every day is friends that I went to middle school with that still live in the hood. Mm-hmm. That's like don't have that. They're homeless. I got friends that's like my age that are homeless, and I'm like, yo, why don't not having a place to stay is wild. Like, not having somebody that you can stay with is wild. So it's like, I'm more passionate about that per se because I see that, or I've seen that growing up more than I've seen the one person. My mother's the only person that I know personally that had cancer, that I know of. So it's like, I would start with what I see every day and what I encounter every day. I encounter, back in the day, homeless people every day almost, you know what I mean? So it's like, I say start with that before, I don't want to say before you give to these big foundations and things like that, but I'm like, anything you do, even if it's a big help or a small help, can help your everyday living situation. I'm just not sure, you know what I mean?
You talking to billionaires or you talking to everybody?
I'm talking about everybody. I feel like everybody have an obligation to preserve the world that they live in.
Yeah.
That's how it started. Now, billionaires and millionaires, of course, if you have more, of course, this is just the mindset that I'm thinking. I could be wrong. Then they are the ones that can have the resources to go more outreach, things like that. Like you hear about Oprah building schools in Africa and things like that. That is more suitable for her and her finances and her influence more than like, you know what, Chin, I want to build a school in Africa. You probably like, bro, just start with just picking up the trash on your block. Like start with that. You get what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Because you don't have the resources and the influence to do that. And what happens is, because you want to do something so big, you will negate picking up your trash in front of your house and only look at the big picture, where if you just pick up the trash on your block and make your block look good, you're bringing up the value of the community. And if everybody do the same thing, everybody wins. So that's why I'm saying I feel like there is a responsibility on everyone to preserve their world. And anything billionaires, millionaires that have the influence and the resources to outreach, then we put them on the front lines of, you know what? Can we help some in Africa? Can we help some overseas? Can we help some domestically within the country?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. It sounds good, but I'm also a believer, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we should tell people what to do with their money. You know what I mean? So it's kind of weird to put that responsibility from the outside looking in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no, I think, that's the weirdness of everything, right? Like, we expect so much from big corporations, and which, if we're being honest, they are doing the most damage, but, whatever.
That's a whole different story.
So, yeah, they should definitely put out more money to help people. But, do you ask your fellow person who's not struggling or who's not doing that poorly, how much are they giving back?
Yeah.
Whether it's with time or money, right? And to be honest, I don't think a lot of people give back as much as they can. And so it's like, how can you expect a billionaire who's not seeing it every day, all day? Mm-hmm. They with other rich people most of the time, or they with their staff, and people that work with them. They don't see it firsthand, but people who do see it firsthand, a lot of them just walk by a lot of homeless people, or they walk by a lot of shelters, and they walk by a lot of food banks, and they don't really, put in the time or money to help out. So it's weird that you say, hey, if Elon Musk just gives $6 billion, but if everybody gave 2% of their wealth back to helping people, maybe world hunger would be solved.
People don't give towards their family, their own family. I remember, shout out to my uncle, right? I remember he got locked up for something, just something, and his bail wasn't something. It wasn't something outrageous, but this is a family of, I want to say, like 5 sisters, 5 brothers, like everybody, and every day that you're in jail, something go towards your bail, but not something substantial that can knock it off. So you basically just paying it off with time. So my father would send money. Now, granted, my father wasn't even middle class. He would send money through Western Union to help with my brother's, with his brother, my uncle, bail and things like that. I think he was writing bad checks or something. I don't know, right? And my father would get upset because my uncle was still in jail, and he was the only one that he know of that was putting money towards his bail. He said, we have like 10 brothers and sisters and things like that. If everybody just put $200 towards it, or like whatever, so-and-so don't have to be in there and things like that. But it goes back to your point that, we look at people who have the most resources and tell them you need to put in $6 billion to save world hunger. Besides saying, hey, if everybody gives 2% of whatever income they have, not only will you probably solve world hunger, but it could be a more maybe sustainable thing.
But then the more I think about it, I mean, people pay taxes.
Taxes is taxes a lot.
It doesn't seem like it's helping much. So.
Yeah, I'm about to say. So that's where a lot of people anger came from, or fake anger, a fake outrage on social media about if Elon Musk can buy something for $44 billion, why don't he give towards world hunger? And then it brought me to, I just remembered that, Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post. Mm-hmm. Facebook is a huge social media platform to the point to where it's being accused of actually influencing elections and things like that. And now Twitter, being such a powerful medium now, these billionaires are trying to buy media. And I'm like, I don't know how safe, or like, what do they know that we don't know? Like, is that like a, I don't want to say is freedom of speech attached to that, but what is the, I guess, the pros of actually owning the Washington Post, of owning, Facebook, I guess he created it, so it's things like that, but so that it becomes so influential, you get called in front of the Congress to explain something that was only created at that time to just reconnect you with people that you went to school with. You know what I mean? What is the big deal about owning Twitter and things like that? That like people from the outside can look like billionaires are like, do they know something that we don't? That is kind of scary. Like, is that a good thing?
I don't know.
To own Twitter, to own these media places?
I mean, what will your guess be?
Power.
Okay.
Influence. Because I'm like, it's not for money, because they are already rich. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, what's the message, or what's the thing that they are trying to get past or trying to get achieved that they need Twitter for, or that they need the Washington Post for, that they need Facebook, which is now turning into Meta. Meta is now officially, I don't want to say officially, I'm going to say allegedly, what I think. Meta is going to be the internet. Like, that's basically what Meta is going to be, of what I think Mark Zuckerberg is trying to do with Meta, to where you don't say the internet no more, you say Meta. You know what I mean? Like, what are they trying to achieve that they're using media as the vehicle? That's what I think they're doing. I think there is always a power struggle amongst billionaires, among even people in power. So that's what I think. I always think it's a power play.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think it's that deep. I mean, it's hard to control Twitter anyways. I mean, you could try, but it's gonna be hard. So it's like, why like maybe a newspaper, but newspapers don't get read as much. So it's like, why do newspaper? If anything, I would do like a Netflix or a Disney, or because those are like
control films or something.
Yeah, because those are the things that people watch the most, and you don't have to worry about users. You don't got to worry about, because all the users consume, they don't produce. So when you have users producing and consuming, it's hard to control that. So it's like, I don't know if it's a power play. I think he wants Twitter to be a certain way. He loves Twitter because he uses it a lot. I feel like it's more like, I'm buying a toy.
Hey, really?
And I want this toy to work the way I want it to work. And right now, it's not working the way I want it to work.
But even you don't even think that's a little, I don't want to say evil, because I ain't trying to paint nobody that way, but even like, who are you to say that you want something to work a certain way? That you like, I want that because it's not working the way that I see it fit, so I'm going to buy it. Is that like the real world of how people like consume things and things like that? Like,
yeah, why not? I mean, if you had the money to, I don't know, like, what do you like? If you had a TV show that you like to watch, and let's say Game of Thrones, like,
oh no, speaking of Game of Thrones, I'm not watching the.
I am, but Game of Thrones, right? Let's say season 7 came, and he's like, oh no, this is enough, and you decided, I got the money, I like Game of Thrones so much. I'm going to buy the rights to Game of Thrones. And you fire the directors. He's like, okay, George R. R. Martin, which director you really want? You want to do this yourself? You on? I don't want them to destroy it. I don't want them to destroy it. Or let's say you have the money and they say, we just need somebody to finance season 8. We're going to get all the same actors, same directors. I mean, same actors, same cast, everything. But new directors to do season 8 properly. But season 8, season 9, season 10.
But that sounds more of a angel investor than like someone that actually owns like the name. Because my thing is, if Elon Musk wants something to, and this is just me thinking, is Twitter still a private or public company? It's.
I mean, right now it's locked. So
it's locked. So right now
nobody's bought it, so it's still
okay.
Public.
I would think like, why don't you get on the board? Like, why don't you?
He tried, but he didn't have power. So he realized as soon as he got on the board.
This kind of remind me of Donald Trump.
What do you mean?
Donald Trump wanted to buy the Buffalo Bills. The thing about billionaires, or the thing about being a billionaire owner in the NFL, they all have to approve your basic purchase. It's like a club. It's like a country club.
Yeah.
They all said no to Donald Trump. Next year he runs for president. so it sounds like that. It sounds like Elon Musk tried to go about it the correct way, the like quote unquote the way that you do like work and things like that. Like I tried to do the regular climbing the corporate ladder way, try to get on the board. Now I'm just gonna buy it and own the whole thing and just do what I want to do. You know what I mean?
He was majority owner, I believe.
And that sounded, but that's usually that's the origin story of villains, though.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Of where like, oh, I wanted to be on this team, and they said no, and now I'm gonna join the other team and beat you. Exactly. So like, I'm like, this is usually someone's origin like villain story of like, I wanted to do it the right way. I was the good guy, and now I'm gonna come in and buy it. I'm gonna put Coke back in the Coca-Colas. You know what I mean? He's trolling, of course, but he's basically saying like, now I'm about to make Twitter to your point, my toy. At first, I was willing to share and things like that, discuss things, but now it's going to be exactly how I want it to be. And that could be as crazy as I want it to be, or as sane as I want it to be. And I'm like, that's usually too much power for one person. You get what I'm saying? To do anything with no boundaries, with nothing, no check and balances. To Twitter, like Twitter's a powerful thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess the insurances that he put $44 billion. It's not like cash. Like he's taking, loans out. He's taking stocks out.
And people would say that Tesla's not even successful. People would say that.
Oh man, I used to think like that until I drove a Tesla.
No, it's cool, but
it's lit.
There's
Tesla's a little different.
For real.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Everything's touched.
But there's a lot of recalls on it. As much as they sell, there's a lot of recalls on it within that year.
Is there?
I read an article. I'm gonna post it about something about the screen is malfunctioning and things like that. The flash screen is malfunctioning. So a lot of recalls is happening, and it kind of is breaking even on the sales that they made, basically to those cars and things like that. And then you always hear about how they are selling more cars than they can produce, so they always behind and things like that. So people would say, like, yo, you're not really running Tesla like that good for you to be the sole owner of Twitter. Like, so that's why I'm like, yes, it may be a good product, but it's like, dude, you know what's funny? My girl wants a Peloton, right? And I told her, I said, don't get no Peloton.
Yeah.
But she wants the Peloton because it looks cool.
Yeah.
And somebody wrote a tweet saying, it's crazy how Peloton was marketed to rich people and they still failed and things like that. Because now, like, that one outlier year where they had all the success, they view that as, oh, we can make this much money every year. And they haven't. And they are behind. And the CEO came out recently and said, yo, we are in trouble. Like,
really?
Yeah, he came out and said, like, I didn't think it was this bad, but it's really bad.
But they've been selling.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody's getting Peloton.
They making Peloton bikes, they making Peloton treadmills, they making Peloton things. But after a while, people are not with paying $2,000 for a bike and paying $50 a month subscription to use the bike. That's why they was trying to market it to rich people. But eventually, like what's going to happen? But that goes back to Elon.
Interesting.
Even though Peloton may be a great product, the Tesla, to your point,
is the Peloton a great product?
I don't know.
Okay.
I never rode on anything like that. To me, it's just a bike.
Yeah.
I think what is the marketing part is the classes on the bike and things like that. That's where they get you for the $35, $50 a month. But the Peloton may be a great product. To your point, you actually drove a Tesla. You say, yo, it's different.
Yeah.
It's good. You can have a good product and still fumble. So that's why I'm like, people looking at Elon Musk.
Well, what do you mean fumble though?
I feel like if you're always behind on production, there's a break point that's not meeting.
Okay.
There's something like, I was reading stories back years ago. Elon Musk was sleeping in the warehouse, helping to get production out. And I'm like, there's something that is like missing to where you can see our production is growing, but the way that we produce things and the way that we have to produce, we are not increasing with the call of production. So people will look at you as the boss and be like, why are people waiting for their Teslas? Like, why y'all so backed up? So that's why I'm like, people look at Elon Musk as I don't want to say it, a fraud billionaire.
Interesting.
Dude, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He came up with this whole idea of we go build a Tesla truck or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it's gonna be a bulletproof glass, and then he threw the rock at the glass and the glass shattered on stage in front of everybody. He said
he did
that
twice. So, let's try a different area.
Shattered. I think it was him who had this idea of he go build subways to, like, it's traffic in LA. He go build these
from LA to New York.
Yeah, exactly. That's gonna be how long? Probably what? Like these very fast subways that's gonna get you there in fast amount of time.
Yeah, fast
and people are like, where is it? Now, granted, doing that is tough. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I think with Elon, he will be the billionaire. And I have to be honest with myself. If I was to be a billionaire, I'd probably be like Elon.
I wouldn't.
I'd probably be like Elon.
Too stressful.
And when I say that, I mean, I think he became very successful off of PayPal. And he got his billions off of that and some other things. So it kind of goes back to that skydiving analogy. Like, yo, if I can do this, I can do this. And I can do this. And I can get people from LA to New York. And I think if I was to become that successful to where I'm a billionaire, I would feel like I can do anything. And I would say, you know what? I'm going to build these bulletproof things. I'm going to build these underground subways. I'm going to get us to space. I'm going to do all these things because I've proven to myself that when I skydive or when I become a billionaire, I can do anything. But I always believe that just because I can do anything, I shouldn't do everything. And that's why I'm like, should you own Twitter? Like, people haven't got their cars yet. Like,
that's fair. Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, I'm mixed on that because it's like, even though Tesla is not production wise not doing well, everything else, like, it was the first car to be fully electric outside of, like, some little smart cars, but those smart cars are like toy cars. Like, it was the only real car that was like fully electric.
Word.
They got all these different like electric stations where you could park your car and you could get a charge in 30 minutes. And you got solar panels that they putting out. All these products, because a car company is not just the car itself. You also got to build the factories that produce these cars. And he's building new types of cars. So it's not like you could buy an old factory, renovate it, and then put it. And then the machinery you got, create to build these cars, because no other car is being built like your car.
100%.
So all these little things, you got the iPad, app. So if you think about it, Tesla is a Apple company, is a car company, is a internet company, AI company, because it's a self-driving company. So these are all multiple companies in one. So for somebody to even have Tesla and run it the way he's running it and it not fail yet, you got to tip your hat off. So I understand, but the fact that it's still around is a miracle.
He's a great juggler.
SpaceX. SpaceX is a space company. And people always say it's not rocket science. SpaceX is all rocket science. And for him to also have something like that, where they are throwing, and the thing is, it's not just like regular rocket company. They're doing new and cool stuff where, they throw up the rocket, and to save the rocket, they have it parachute down to a place where they can catch it and reuse it. Whereas back in the day, you throw up a
self-destruct.
You space a rocket, and it pops off, and then it just falls. And you have to rebuild that whole thing.
Because you don't know where that thing is.
And so, like, a lot of the things that he's doing in SpaceX is also, like, OC, and it has never been done. So then it's like, okay, either he is doing too much, which is a fair assessment, but then it's like, okay, but he's also doing these things in these companies that no other companies are able to do. Like, he was the first one to do self-driving. Nobody thought self-driving was a possibility.
That's true. Until
he did it. So I don't know. I remember Google was trying to do one. I don't know. Uber said they was doing one. Amazon, you remember when Amazon? Oh, maybe you don't. But Amazon said they was going to have drones in the sky delivering your packages.
I think I remember commercials, and I see prototypes, but it's not the everyday thing.
I haven't seen it. And he said by 2018 we were going to be seeing drones.
Why you holding Jeff Bezos?
I'm just saying. So it's like, yeah, we hold Elon Musk to a weird standard, but
that's because he made us though do that. Like,
what do you mean?
No one asked for the AI in the Tesla. No one asked for you to be an Apple company too. Nobody asked you to do any of it. Like, just the fact that it's an electric car, and that it actually don't look as bad as people think it does, and that it is actually a full body car besides a smart car. Like, maybe you could get production out quicker if every screen wasn't an iPad and things like that, or every car wasn't have Wi-Fi in it. Wi-Fi in the car is kind of lit though. I kind of bang with that. But I'm just saying, like, you're doing so much that I can relate to Elon in that way, to where I'm like, if I was a billionaire, I would probably be that guy. That I would be a billionaire turned juggler. Like, to where, like, I just juggle things. Now, you said you wouldn't be.
Nah, I mean, I'm trying more. I probably would be at this point in life, but I'm trying more to be focused and delegate. Like, that's something that I need to learn how to delegate instead of trying to do it yourself.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I was watching one of Steve Jobs' interviews, and he said that one of the things that he learned to do was invest in people, because when somebody mess up, your go-to is to fix it. But he was like, if you're going to be working with somebody and you try and build a team, especially from the ground up, you need people to be self-reliant and self-efficient. So he was like, what you do is you help that person learn how to fix those mistakes. You don't fix it for them, and you don't just get rid of them. And the ability to do that is the way that you build great teams and great companies, because those people that worked with you from the beginning learn how to work for you and with you. And by the time you guys are able to really hit the road running, they are able to know, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to go. And I don't know if Elon knows how to do that. I think if he were able to better put people in positions, because he fires people like it's nobody's business. Like,
really?
I remember there was one time that he has satellites for SpaceX. He has a bunch of satellites. I think they launched like 200 to 1,000 satellites in SpaceX. And there was a company that was under SpaceX that was supposed to, or a team that was supposed to release these satellites. They didn't get released at the time when they were supposed to get released. So he fired everybody in that team. Ooh. That whole team went to Amazon. And they were supposed to do the satellites.
And they ain't do it over there either.
Amazon has not one satellite. And Elon has about 200. So he fires people. And maybe, after I just said that story, maybe that's the right approach.
Maybe they needed to get fired because they haven't done it.
Maybe that's the right approach. But also it's like, for him to be so involved in all these things, might not be scalable. Because, I mean, now, like you said, if he's bringing Twitter, Like that's a whole different company you gotta worry about,
And
you don't got the proper people to work that company. Then how?
And Twitter is it have millions and millions and millions of, maybe even hundreds of million people on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, how can you control this?
Yeah.
like why would you want to control this? You know what I mean? Things can happen. Wars can happen off of a tweet, off of things like that. So it's like, you know.
Yeah.
Who sees? I actually remember when Donald Trump was president, they banned him on Twitter. I think it was for a point. Because I mean, like, it was just weird. I think he was tweeting weird things and things like that. But
interesting.
You know, it is what it is. Anything else you want to say on this topic?
Nah, man. Shout out to Elon and the liberals and the
both
Republicans.
Man, y'all be good, man. Blessings.